Hello guys, Vino here, coming at you with another OTGV. I actually really enjoyed doing these over the last few days, so I thought I'd do another. I'm working from home today. I've just come back off my lunch and just loading all the systems back up again to start work this afternoon. But my Game of Thrones set was supposed to have arrived yesterday, my 4K Game of Thrones set. Royal Mail was saying it was going to arrive tomorrow between 10:25 and 2:25. 2:25 came and went. Nothing. Sometimes when that happens, they update the tracking to be like, oh, we could deliver between 8 AM and 8 PM. 8 PM came and went. Nothing. And I logged back on today and there was no update on the tracking. So as it stands at the moment, I have no idea where my Game of Thrones set is, which is kind of funny because I was going to travel to Aldershot on Tuesday to pick it up in person. Chose to order it online and now it's seemingly gone missing in the post. So that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this OTGV on the go video today, because I'm going to keep you guys updated when it arrives. Basically, I have the opportunity to record after I finish work tonight. My housemate's not back till 9 PM. So back from work 9 PM. So I've got opportunity to record video tonight. I'm probably going to CX tomorrow to pick up some Evercade carts. That's almost a definite. I'm going to look around the house and see what I can get rid of, trade in for some of those carts. I've got so many different things that I could probably trade in, get some trade-in value for, and get some carts, Evercade carts. I am contemplating a couple of other things at the moment. I haven't really thought them through to fruition just yet, but the Evercade carts is definitely the main thing on my list. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to work and I'll keep you guys updated with what happens with the Game of Thrones set. Hello guys, I'm back and it's actually been 4 days since the last segment of this video that I recorded. I look blurry. Maybe it's because of the focus. I don't know. Maybe it's the lens. Who knows? Yeah, so it's actually been a few days since that last segment. And Game of Thrones 4K arrived yesterday. I'm recording this segment on Monday, the 8th of April. It's currently 12:25. I'm on my lunch break at the moment. But yeah, long story short, it came yesterday, Sunday. So Thursday, supposed to be delivered then between 10:25 and 2:25. Nothing happened. Friday came and went. Nothing happened. So Saturday, I gave them a call. Had to wait on hold for 40 minutes before someone actually picked up. Finally, someone picked up and said, we're going to look into this. Just to make you aware, it can take up to 10 working days for the investigation to come to its conclusion. And I was like, okay. But she said it can arrive up to 72 hours after its initial estimated time or date. And I thought, okay then. Throughout Saturday, kept checking the tracking, was talking to and playing games on Xbox and what have you with Luke, telling him about it, telling my housemate about it, all that kind of stuff, and nothing. Woke up Sunday morning to a notification, email and a notification. So I actually have the Royal Mail app. You can log into it, and when you put a tracking number into it, when you log into it, it actually gives you notifications if there's any updates with those tracking numbers. So I got a notification from Royal Mail and an email from CX saying that your package is due to be delivered today. And I thought, okay, fair enough. Me and my housemate were going to go out shopping that day, but I decided to keep him at home and me go to Aldi for shopping. Literally, I got down the road, we got a ring doorbell, and I got a notification on my phone saying that obviously someone had knocked the door, run the doorbell, and it got delivered. And it's just down here. This is actually the sleeve on the outside. So there we go. Game of Thrones 4K. That's the sleeve, because I actually have the rest of the box set here. It's missing season 3 because season 3 is just down here, because one of the discs is in my PS5 at the moment, because I was watching an episode last night. So yeah, finally, after 3 days, 4 days, whatever it's been, it actually finally got delivered. Yeah, there will be a dedicated video on this at some point. I just wanted to sort of document I just sort of wanted to document it taking its time and arriving. It's funny because there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of faith in CEX. I didn't for the longest time, I must admit, but in the last few years, last year or so, probably, their delivery has been fantastic for me personally. I've ordered the Shore Scope Volume 1 and Volume 2 box sets from them. I ordered a camera from them, the Panasonic DMC GH4 camera. What else have I? I've ordered some other things from now Game of Thrones. Yes, they increased their postage packaging from, was it $1.95 per item to $2.95 per item, and there's a lot of people online who have taken very big umbrage to that increase in price. I understand where you're coming from completely on that one. For me personally, I actually don't mind that whatsoever, because they package their items really, really well. At some point, I'll get the box. I think you've seen me unbox my Shore Scope set on my channel. They package the packaging really well done. It's really speedy now. It used to take a week or more to receive your CEX item. It now takes 2 or 3 days, sometimes quicker than that, depending on where it gets sent from and where you live in comparison to that. So I have no complaints whatsoever. However, I will say this last few days has sort of sullied that, but I have a strong suspicion this wasn't CEX's fault. I think this was the Royal Mail's fault. And at the moment, as I'm recording this video, the Royal Mail don't have the best reputation. There's that whole fraud stuff that's going on with the postmasters, sub-postmasters, and the CEO had to step down because of the software issue and stuff like that. And there's actually a lot of people online also complaining about service issues, such as not receiving their parcels and things of that nature. And I actually received a notification the other day that apparently during COVID and since COVID, parcel theft has gone up significantly, and they actually not only let go of but prosecuted several posties, which are what they call their post people now. Used to be called a postman, I guess, but of course they can't really call them postmen anymore because there are both male and females on non-binaries that will do the posting. So posties, they call them posties now. They've actually let go of and actually prosecuted, criminal prosecution wise, many different posties for parcel theft, basically. So yeah, the Royal Mail do have a bit of a situation to sort. I was fearful because it's really ironic that I got that notification through the other day just before this not arriving on time. I got that notification. Oh yeah, we've let go of and prosecuted several posties that have stolen parcels and what have you, and there's me going, oh god, I've just spent 120 quid on a on a package. Is it actually going to arrive or not? But it did. Rudimentary opinions, it's fucking fantastic. It's such good quality. I was streaming Game of Thrones 4K through Sky Glass. I got a Sky Glass TV, and that looked pretty damn good. But I tell you what, the 4K discs take it up a notch. I was actually watching some videos on comparisons between streaming 4K, the Blu-rays and what have you. Obviously the Blu-rays and the 4K, there's no comparison. You've got HDR on here. You've got, I think, Dolby Atmos in some of the later seasons. I think it has HDR. I swear it has HDR. It better have HDR. Dolby Atmos and Dolby Audio. Doesn't say it's... Oh, Dolby Vision. It does have Dolby Vision. So it does have some kind of HDR on it, because Dolby Vision is a HDR standard, and my TV can support Dolby Vision. Thank for that. But yes, it's a step up from the streaming. Now, I will talk about this more in my dedicated video, but the main thing for me, one of the reasons why I got these, is because on the streaming, when it dips below a certain connection or bit rate of your connection, it disables certain elements. So it could disable the HDR, it could disable the Dolby Atmos, it could disable the Dolby Vision. You know, it disables part of the signal in order to maintain the signal, the picture, basically. There are times where I'm looking at it going, am I still watching this in 4K? Whereas discs, you don't lose any quality from the disc. I do want to watch some dark scenes from this, because apparently a lot of people have said between streaming and the 4K disc, dark scenes are where it's at. And considering a lot of Game of Thrones does have quite poorly lighted scenes, not in a bad way, just that's, you know, that's the look of the scene. This is gonna shine. I can't wait to see a dark scene, a night scene, really see it nice and crispy. And apparently the HDR sings in those scenes, as it should. That's the whole point of HDR, is to sing when you've got dark scenes, and be able to discern people within them in the dark house, in the dark street. Funny bones, anybody? So yeah, very happy with my purchase. And there's subtitles on here, which there's not subtitles on Sky Glass. I'm a subtitles person. It's just my preference. So subtitles are on here. So couldn't be happier with it now that I've received it. And of course, there's going to be some videos now on the limited edition Blu-ray set that's in the front room currently, the 4K set. Yes, I might as well update you guys on this as well. I've actually managed to secure myself a Steam Deck for next month. So I was looking on Facebook Marketplace for a Steam Deck. I sold my Steam Deck a while ago now, about a year ago, maybe less than that, whatever it's been. I sold my Steam Deck only a few months after getting my Steam Deck. I kind of panicked 1 month. I didn't have the money to buy my bus ticket, and I thought I was shorter than I was, so I panicked and sold my Steam Deck as a bit of an impulse, and then realised, I could have actually probably jiggered some stuff around and still been able to keep my Steam Deck. Nonetheless, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. I know around Christmas, was it Christmas or was it my birthday? Not last year, the year before. Yeah, it was the year before. I bought things like Dome Keeper and a couple of games I bought specifically for the Steam Deck. So when I sold the Steam Deck, I was like, that's a bit of a... But anyway, Steam Decks have come way down in price recently because of the Steam Deck OLED, and because there's been so many other competitors on the market, such as the iNeo, you know, Air Pro, or the other iNeo devices. There's the Lenovo Legion Go, there's the Asus ROG Ally. There's so many competitors on the market now and there's competitors within inside Steam's own ecosystem. Basically, the Steam Deck has just tanked in price. I was actually looking up some Steam Decks local to me. The nearest was London, and anybody close enough to me, it was outside of my personal budget for a Steam Deck. One popped up literally over the weekend that I contacted the seller today. That's within my budget, and they've agreed to hold on to it till the end of the month. And I've literally just booked the 30th of April off, so I'll be able to get it on the 30th of April. So I've got a Steam Deck coming, and with the reduction in national insurance contributions here in the UK, I'll have a bit of extra buffer to be able to get that, and I'm super excited about getting a Steam Deck back, and there'll be plenty of videos on that, don't worry. But until next time, guys, I'm still contemplating whether I'm going to add another clip to this vlog. You know what, I'll add another clip to this later, and then probably get this up either late tonight or tomorrow. So I'll see you in the next clip, guys. Hello guys, so I'm back. It's actually technically a couple days later because it's currently almost 12:15 on the morning of Wednesday, the 10th of April, 2024. How are you guys doing? I know for you guys it's been, seconds, if that, between the last segment, but to me it's been over 24 hours. So, yeah, so basically over the weekend, before the seller yesterday of the Steam Deck contacted me, I did actually send out quite a few messages to various sellers of gaming handhelds from, some people were saying Asus ROGs, Steam Decks, but they were much further afield, and I was going to ask if they could ship them or we could arrange to meet halfway or something along those lines. But I was just sending messages all over the place. Now, one of the first messages I actually sent out that kind of spurred on me wanting a gaming handheld again, like a Steam Deck, was I sent a message to somebody selling an ANEO Air, basically. So that person responded to me today, and I was speaking to them throughout today. And I said to them that I'm in talks with someone about a Steam Deck. And ironically, very quickly, they were like, go with the Steam Deck, go with the Steam Deck. And I was kind of, hang on a minute, the ANEO Air has an OLED screen, which is a better technology than the LCD screen on the Steam Deck. And it has a 1080p, 1920 by 1080, whereas the Steam Deck is 1280 by 800. And they just kept saying, go for the Steam Deck, go for the Steam Deck. It's much better for bigger hands, it's got a bigger screen. That's the other thing, the ANEO has a 5.5 inch screen, whereas the Steam Deck has a 7.7 inch screen. And I was a little confused as to why they were like, go for the Steam Deck. I've come back home, been doing some research, watching some videos and what have you, and I can see why. Basically, so the ANEO Air can't really run games much more than at 720p because of its hardware, and thus you're not going to really get the most out of that 1080p screen. Also, although it's an OLED screen, it being only 5.5 inches does cause some issues, and you can't really appreciate that big screen. Now, unfortunately, ANEO can't go out and get a custom screen like the Steam Deck OLED and the Nintendo Switch because they don't have the kind of capital that Nintendo or Valve have. They're a relatively small indie company compared to the likes of Nintendo and Valve, so they can't get nice custom OLED screens, so they've had to go with an off-the-shelf 5.5 inch screen from another manufacturer. They have revealed somewhere who makes that screen, but anyway, yes, it does have Hall effect joysticks, and it has a lot more better technology, but you can change out most of the things on a Steam Deck because Valve are very much open to you tinkering around inside your Steam Deck, and you can switch out the sticks for Hall effect joysticks if you want and stuff like that. So yeah, having done some research, I probably am going to stick with the Steam Deck, but it is interesting, the comparisons between the two. Also, the ANEO Air is not a lot bigger than the Switch Lite. To get a full-on gaming handheld, like a gaming PC, a handheld PC essentially, the size of the Nintendo Switch, is very impressive, and it's made out of really good materials and stuff like that. It's hard to compete with Steam. Steam came along and just smashed the market. And now everyone's buying Steam Decks and OLED Steam Decks and what have you. But yeah, I probably will stick with the Steam Deck. Also, the other thing about the ANEO is it, performance-wise, the Steam Deck is a lot more optimised, a lot better for that kind of stuff. Bit of a shame, because maybe the next ANEO device that they come out with can be the one that just ticks all the boxes rather than having some caveats. Also, the Windows experience on the ANEO is really bad. Whereas the out-of-the-box experience with the Steam Deck and Steam OS is far nicer, apparently. And I can contest to that, having my Steam Deck last year. Anyway, I thought I'd add this little segment in just to have a send-off to this video and talk about some extra bits and bobs. But I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and until next time, please take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Ta-ra.